Welcome to Marketing Made Simple TV. I'm Jeff Ogden, the host of the show, and we're thrilled to have you back once again for another great show. And we've got a great show lined up for you again, and this is going to be a really fun show. Lisa Arthur is the Chief Marketing Officer of Teradata Applications, and she wrote this book called Big Data Marketing about how the world of marketing is changing so fast. Let's bring her on the show and introduce her.
Hi, Jeff, and hi, everyone out there. Great to be here. Hey,
Great
Jeff,
to have you.
By the way, I wanted to say something. I love your show. I love the hat. And I really tried to get ready for this with my own version.
Okay.
But I don't think it's working for me, so I hope you don't mind that I'll let you be the cool guy with the hat for this one.
There you go. And I got to tell you, I went through a couple hats until I found one I really like, so it took a little while, but good, yes. And I want to congratulate you on the book. First of all, before we get into it, I think you said that all of the proceeds from the book are going to charity. Tell us about that.
Thanks, Jeff. Yes. I've been working with the marketing team at the American Red Cross. They're one of the featured thought leaders in the book. And I've just fallen in love with that organization. And you take that along with the fact that we've had way too many disasters, whether it be Katrina or the tornadoes, and they just keep coming. I wanted to give back, so I couldn't think of a better organization to. So with myself and Teradata Cares, which is our giving arm, we are donating all profits of every sale of every book to the Red Cross. So we're doing good talking about this book today.
That's great, Lisa, and that really means that anybody watching this show that buys your book is giving back, and what better to do it the Christmas season? So wonderful. So one of the things you talk about in the book is you talk about moving out of the dark ages of marketing. What the heck do you mean by dark ages?
That's a really good question. Some people will call it old school. I call it dark ages. I'm a little dramatic sometimes. But what I'm talking about there is this old way of approaching marketing. Lots of big brochures, websites that are still electronic brochures, emails that are just pour more in and we're going to get more out, the push versus pull type of marketing. And I think that really sums it up is, us trying to push our messages, push our brand, old school or dark ages, us engaging customers, engaging prospects, being able to understand their needs and better cater to those to drive value both to that consumer and well as the business is what I'm talking about from the dark ages.
That's interesting, Lisa. I agree that companies have to adapt and adapt faster than they ever have before. And since you're talking about the Red Cross and disasters, I think a good term for what's happening in the world of data is the tsunami of data that's just enveloping businesses. Talk to us about big data and how it's transforming businesses today.
I think tsunami, Jeff, is the absolute right way to talk about it. So big data, and everybody out there, I bet each of your organizations have your own definition of big data. What I like to talk about big data is our traditional data, because we as marketers don't always have all that data today, coupled with the new types of data, multi-structured data. You'll hear unstructured data. We'll call it multi-structured data, which is everything from text messages to posts on social networks. All of that data coming in along with traditional data to be able to inform us as marketers what our customers and prospects care about and what we can give back. So that's what I talk about with big data, and where I see leading marketers, Jeff, really focusing on understanding. And I think one important point for our audience is I'm not talking about doing creepy things with it. This is about using data to add value. And I think that's a really important point for our audience today.
I appreciate you say that there's nothing creepy about this. That's kind of cool. Now, there's obviously this has ramifications on marketing organizations, that you need different people on your staff than you used to hire. Tell us about how do you put together a marketing organization today, because I think that's of value to our audience.
You're so right. There's huge impact, Jeff, to the marketing organizations. And where I see marketers addressing it is one, really tearing down silos, um, both within marketing. So we have a lot of smart people doing digital marketing. Are those smart people and smart insights getting back to the content teams? Is it getting back to the creative teams so that we can take that data and better orchestrate it? So one is tearing down the silos within marketing and making sure the data is used across the organization. It can't just be the digital marketers. That's one. The second organizational impact is talent augmentation. Um, we're seeing CMOs add IT people, sometimes to their team, or sometimes they're being added to IT with what I call a matrix or a dotted line reporting. It doesn't matter how we augment it, we need both technical and we need data skills within marketing or as part of marketing to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. You know, big data is actually being cited as one of the most disruptive, next to the internet, opportunities for businesses today. So getting that talent, being able to understand what questions to ask because it doesn't just spit out the answer is important. So that's the second. And the third is organizational partnership with IT. I think we've all seen or heard the Gartner stats. Some agree with it, some don't. But that CMOs will spend more than CIOs on technology by 2017. And regardless of which way you stand on that particular topic, what we do know is that marketing expresses a lot of business strategy through the customer experience, and innovation around that experience is being driven through technological advances, and therein lies the criticality to partner with IT. So it's not just, oh, we have a kumbaya and we go to lunch. That's not what I'm talking about, Jeff. I'm talking about IT and marketing charting the journey of the customer, working together organizationally to execute it, and winning together in the market. So those are the real three organizational impacts I see.
Great stuff, Lisa, and it is definitely getting IT involved in the marketing organization in some way is critical. You definitely need different skills. One of the terms you use, which is a lot of fun and people have had fun with it, is this term of data hairball. And I think, Craig, you actually have a slide on this. Can you bring it up? Yeah, so talk to us about this diagram, and this does look something like the cat vomited, so tell us about it.
Yes, it is probably one of the more unsavory metaphors I've crafted, Jeff. So I agree, it does look like something the cat choked up. Um, and the reason I picked this is when I meet with CMOs in my job, I not only run our global marketing applications group, but I work with some of the most leading CMOs out there around the world. And this is the one thing that has been central to those discussions, which is I either can't get the data I need because it's trapped in other systems, I have too much data and I don't know what to do with it, or a combination of those. And the frustration I hear and see and feel is that it is indeed a hairball. It's a cross-organizational, cross-system, cross-company issue that we as marketers have to untangle. And I've got some stats actually to back this up. Earlier this year, we ran a global survey called the Teradata 2013 Data-Driven Marketing Survey. That's a mouthful, sorry. We'll just call it the Data-Driven Marketing Survey. We surveyed 2,200 marketers around the world, and we heard that only 18% of marketers have a holistic view of their customer, and it's because of this hairball. The other thing we heard is less than 10% are using data programmatically. And if we think about consumers controlling our brands, if we think about the fact that it's about the customer journey, not about us, not about that old school dark ages of marketing, we've got to untangle this data hairball quickly, and we've got to be able to show relevance to the audience we're marketing to. So that's why I picked such an unsavory term, because it's what marketers are feeling. They're feeling like they've got to cough it up, and they are having a trouble. And I really believe that it's not as hard as it seems, but it is a journey.
Interesting, and it's a great analogy. I love visualization, and I think you did a great job with that. So you speak about the journey. Talk about, I think there's 5 steps to data-driven marketing. Tell us about those 5 steps, and how do our viewers go on that journey? Because when you say only 1 in 5 is actually doing this, that's a pretty scary number.
It is a scary number, and it also shows the amount of work we in marketing have to do to become more data-driven. And that's really the catalyst and the genesis, if you will, of these 5 steps. I'll quickly review them. I certainly will keep it short since we're on internet time here. And there's lots of gory detail in the books and also on the microsite that I think we're going to share with all of you out there. But the first step is get smart, get strategic. Now, you might look at that and say, duh, Lisa, of course strategy comes first. Yeah, I get that. But you'd be surprised how many have not really taken a strategic approach to data and how it can transform marketing. And so there are 5 strategies that I propose organizations and marketers look to begin that journey. And that first strategy is the most important. Some call it the customer journey, some call it the customer experience, but we have to map that across the organization, and marketing is often being asked to lead that. We have to get our IT partnership and leadership team involved. We have to involve the entire executive team, and out of that comes 4 other strategies, from organizational to technology to data, that will help us become better marketers and drive more relevant and value. So that's the first step. The second step, we touched on it a little bit ago, tearing down the silos. What we have to do is tear down the silos that are stopping change. One global brand I know, I won't mention their name, I do keep my sources anonymous, but one global brand I know has spent 6 years trying to get a holistic view of their customer. And I'm not talking about digital. Yeah, it's easy to have all your digital email and campaign information, but I'm talking about product information. I'm talking about behavior information. I'm talking about a real view of the customer. So tearing down the silos is critical there, and we have to partner with IT on that, and we've got to do it within marketing. Tearing down silos of systems, data, and processes that make us slow and irrelevant as marketers. The third step we've already covered, so I'll short track this one, Jeff, is untangle the data hairball. 71% of marketers, according to the survey I referenced a little bit ago, plan to implement big data in the next 2 years. 71%. And yet we don't have this data hairball untangled. How are we going to take advantage of that? So we have to tackle the enterprise data that we have and we don't access and use, as well as pilot big data projects to be able to show value and test and learn. So that's what Untangle the Data Hairball is all about. The last is making metrics your mantra. And I'm not talking about just campaign click-throughs and time on website. I'm talking about true return on marketing investment. Every CMO is being pressured, show more accountability, help translate what your organization does to value, and metrics are the way we do it. And a real challenge that I cover in the book, Jeff, on that one is culture. We have to adopt a culture of metrics as well. And then the last one is process is the new black. I may not have worn a hat like you, but you'll see I'm in all black. I believe process is sexy. Marketers that are agile, marketers that are able to get to market fast, to seize opportunities and in real time respond are going to be the organizations that have competitive differentiation. So process is the new black, and it's one that we in marketing are embracing, and I think it's going to be a bigger catalyst for us to be more relevant and take advantage of data. So that's in summary what the 5 steps are.
I'm glad you talked about differentiation because there's a sea of lookalikes out there. So, very good. Now, I know we have an offer in the show. Can you talk to us a little bit about what viewers can get by clicking at the offer at the top of the show?
Yes. In the spirit of what Jeff and I both believe, and a recent guest as well, Joe Pelusi, believe in content marketing, we've set up a microsite for the book so that you can browse a little bit about the book, and then it will link you through to Amazon. Once you buy the book, there is a host of online resources, white papers, the survey I've talked about, case studies of how leading marketers are transforming their business into data-driven marketing. So it's a 2-step offer, and I'd say start with the microsite, and if you like it, the book is the next step, and then we'll give you a whole bunch of resources to support it.
That's great, Lisa. And for our viewers, we have a link right at the top of the show where they can click on it and go directly to that microsite. So, Lisa, this has been a fascinating discussion. I wish we had more time, but where can people learn more about you, about big data marketing? I know the microsite, but where, Twitter, whatever, where do they get more in deep into this topic? Because there's got to be a lot of interest in it.
Thanks very much. Yes, the book and the resources around the microsite after the book purchase, I think, are huge opportunities. There's probably 30 pieces of content, Jeff, for people that buy the book. If you haven't bought the book, and again, all the profits go to the Red Cross, I'm not trying to hawk the book, but if you don't want to buy the book, we still want to make sure we're helping you drive value and innovate marketing. I'd say check out Forbes. I'm a blogger on Forbes. The Economist Lean Back is a new blog site that I'm blogging for, where there is information on the 5 steps in data-driven marketing. And then there's also great content following the hashtag data-driven marketing on Twitter. We've really got a growing community. It's not just Teradata, though we believe we're one of the leaders in this area. It is a lot of different practitioners from a lot of brands. So I would say Twitter, Forbes, Economist Lean Back, and then hopefully some of the resources with the book as well.
I want to thank Lisa, author of Teradata Applications, for being a wonderful guest on the show. Just really interesting stuff. Also, pick up this book, Big Data Marketing. All the proceeds go to the Red Cross, so it's Christmas. It's a good time to give back and help people out. Before we go, we want to thank our sponsors because they make the show possible. Avatage is a great content marketing company up in the Boston area. Learn more at avatage.com. Digital Ethos is an educational company. Go to digitalethos.org. Communicationstrategygroup.com is brand telling. And Watchatu provides this wonderful platform we use to create our TV on the web show. Marketing Made Simple TV premieres every Thursday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So until next time, we'll see you again on Marketing Made Simple TV.